Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be taking you inside my local library, showing you around and seeing what we can find. So let's go. Alright guys, I'm back to share my library haul with you. I didn't get to share it last night because we were out kind of late and I didn't have the good light when we got home. And then this morning I actually ran a 5K, so I am showered and ready to share what I got. The first book I got is Lily and the Octopus by Stephen Rowley. Now, I told y'all that if I see a book with a dash out on the cover, I'm reading it. So this is the second book I've seen recently with a dash out on the cover, and I am pumped. If you don't know, I had a dachshund who passed away, Cooper, and now I have another dachshund, Duke, and they're just my favorite type of dog. So I'm always excited to see them out in the wild, and to have them on a book, yeah, I'm gonna read it. So this book is the story about a special someone, the one you trust, the one you can't live without. For Ted Flask, that special someone is his aging companion Lily, who happens to be a dog. Lily and the Octopus reminds us how it feels to love fiercely, how difficult it can be to let go, and how the fight for those we love is the greatest fight of all. So I don't know if this book is going to be fun to read or if it's going to make me cry. We will see, and I will report back because I'll definitely be reading this one soon. The next book I got is The Lost Year by Catherine Marsh. I have been wanting to read this one ever since middle grade March. I didn't get around to it then, but this book is written in multiple perspectives, and one of them is during the COVID pandemic, right at the beginning of it, I think, and another one is in Ukraine. Those are two topics that are fresh on my brain right now, and I'm sure a lot of people's brains. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. I know that it follows 13-year-old Matthew during the COVID pandemic in 2020, right as that starts. And then he is spending some time with his great-grandmother and discovers a journal, I think, and learns about her time in Soviet Ukraine. And then there's another perspective, so I'll be interested to see where that takes us, and I'm really excited for this one. This is, like I said, a book I've really wanted to read for a while now, and I am looking forward to it. The next book I got is one that I have actually read before, but I really wanted to show y'all because it is so cool, and I think that everyone should read it. It's called The Belonging, and it is written by Nora Krug. The subtitle is A German Reckons with History and Home. This book is a graphic memoir. The author is of German descent, and she returns to Germany to try to find out about her family's past and their involvement in World War II, and she gets to meet relatives, and there's photographs in here that are really interesting. The author reckons with her family's involvement in World War II on the side of the Nazis, and just kind of what that means for her now as an American. I think it's an interesting perspective on, you know, how are we responsible for the actions of our ancestors and the roles that they played in difficult history. It's probably one of the coolest memoirs I've ever read, and I might read it again because it was that good. The next book I picked up is called Carolina Moonset. It's written by Matt Goldman. The subtitle is A Race to Discover the Truth Before a Father's Memory Fades Forever. So this book looks like it's set in Beaufort, South Carolina. Yeah, it says Joey Green has returned to Beaufort, South Carolina to look after his ailing father who is succumbing to dementia. Marshall Green's short-term memory has all but evaporated, but as if in compensation, his oldest memories are more vivid than ever. Joey grows increasingly anxious as his father's memories begin to hint at deadly secrets, scandals, and suspicions long buried and forgotten that still have the power to shatter lives and change everything Joey thought he knew, especially when a new murder brings the police to his door. Sounds really good, y'all. I love books that are set kind of close to me. I live in North Carolina, so Beaufort, South Carolina is not too far from me. I love to read stories about people living with dementia and elderly folks. That makes me, I don't know if that's weird or not, but I really love the elderly population. So I'm excited to read this one. Sounds like it's a little twisty and mystery-ish. It definitely has the elderly population in it, and so I was drawn to it for that and for the cover, which looks kind of like a stormy summer night. So I'm interested to see how this one goes. The next one I got is called Yonder by Ali Standish. So this one is another middle grade. The cover is amazing. That's really why I picked it up to begin with. That cover is really, really pretty. This one is set during the Great Flood of 1940 and World War II. So when Jack goes missing without a trace from their small Appalachian town, Danny is determined to find him. He wonders if Jack's abusive father could be behind his disappearance, or if it has anything to do with Yonder, a hidden magical town Jack once spoke of, where flocks of rainbow birds fly through the sky and they've never even heard of war. As answers elude him, Danny begins to fear that he didn't know Jack as well as he thought. So it sounds like it has also some fantasy element to it, which is really cool. I love when I can combine genres, so I think that will be fun to read. I'm also hoping that if this one is good, I can share it with my boys. It sounds like it's a lot about the difference between right and wrong, and kind of how do we define a hero. And so I think that would be a really great story for my boys to read as they get a little bit older and up into this level. Okay, y'all, this next one, my husband picked this for me. It is not one I would usually pick, but I told y'all I will read anything that someone recommends for me. So this is The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. A young woman living in a rigid puritanical society discovers dark powers within herself in this stunning feminist fantasy debut. So my husband started reading this while we were in the library, and he was like, babe, you have to get this book and try it, because I just read the first chapter. It was like 3 pages long, and I am sucked in and I want to read it with you. So I'm gonna read it, and hopefully he's gonna read it with me, and I will let you know how it goes. So if ever there was an opposite of this book, I would think it would be this book. This is At Home in Mitford by Jan Karon. I have wanted to read this for a long time. Kristen at Delightfully Feasting on Instagram talks about this book, and it is about Father Tim, the bachelor rector who yearns for something more, suddenly finds he has more than he can handle. His life is turned upside down with the appearance of a very large dog, an attractive new neighbor, and a lovable but unloved boy named Dooley. Seemingly overnight, Father Tim's quiet life isn't so quiet anymore. This book seems like such a cozy book to read. This version actually has the map of the town in it, which is really cool. I didn't know that until I got it home. I saw it on the shelf and I thought, okay, I'm gonna try this. It's the beginning of a series, so I think there are quite a few books in the series. I'm excited. I'll probably have to balance out this one with this one. So we'll see. Okay, last and certainly not least, I got The Comic Book Story of Baseball: The Heroes, Hustlers, and History-Making Swings and Misses of America's National Pastime. So our family is on a baseball kick. We just finished up my middle son and my youngest son, their baseball and t-ball seasons, and we are just obsessed with baseball at the moment. So I'm hoping that I can actually read this one with my boys. I really love the graphics in this book, and I think it will draw my boys in and keep them interested. And so I also think that I will learn a lot in reading this book. I come from a family of people who played sports, and I did myself, but I've never actually learned the history of baseball. So I'm excited to get into this one and enjoy it with my family. Those are most of the books I got at the library yesterday. I do have a few more to share in a later video this week. I'm going to be sharing my summer TBR books, and so there's a few that I got that are going to be in that video, so I didn't want to share them twice, but if you're interested, stay tuned for that. Now for my kindness moment. I think today I'm going to talk about baseball. So my son just finished his season of baseball. He's 7, and so he plays on a team of 7 and 8-year-olds. And at his last game, they play a tournament, and at the last game, they were playing probably the best team in the tournament. So my son was playing third base, and a ball was hit his way, and he missed it. And you know, the little boy on playing shortstop is more than a year older than him, and he went over to my son and really encouraged him that he could get the next one, and it was no big deal, just keep trying your hardest. And in a competitive, I would say overly competitive environment, where the parents are intense and some of the kids are intense, and you know, it would have been very easy for this little boy to either say nothing or to even give my son a hard time for making a mistake. He didn't, and it meant, I think, a lot to my son, and it kept him encouraged and really potentially changed the game for him, and potentially changed his whole view of baseball. So I think that just shows how a little kindness can go a really long way, even for young people. I think seeing that kindness went a long way for me in that moment. So on that note, go out and be kind to someone today, y'all.